Testing 1 2 1 2. Oh, here I go. I'm not on mute. I promise. I am broadcasting, and it should be there. Can you hear me? I will ask my development team there. Can't hear you. Still can't hear me. Okay. Well, we can hear you now. Okay, no, we can hear you now. Okay, great. It's always something on a live stream, you know? So hi, my name's Kevin Poorman. I am a developer advocate here at Salesforce. And today on Recruiting for Good, we're going to be building out our V2MOM making wizard. Now, if you remember Recruiting for Good, we've got this idea that we're going to be building an application that is going to take and upset the world of recruiting by changing the way everything is thought through and done. As part of that, we're creating the ability for hiring managers, that persona, to go ahead and create a job posting. And that's not your typical job posting, because we want them to think through things and act as if this were more like dreaming up what the success looks like. So we're going to put them in the V2MOM format. Now, if you remember, V2MOM stands for Vision, Values, Methods, Obstacles, and Measures. Makes for a handy mnemonic. And we've been working on our V2MOM values picker. And this is the JavaScript component we've created for it. Now, if I go over here and look at my record, you can see that I've gotten this working. And by the way, I see that I've got Valon and Scott and Enrique. Good to see you all here today. And we've got this working. We can drag that over there. And we've got it set up so that it tells us what we've selected. There we go. It puts that over there. Now, we probably want to do something a little bit more interesting than just alert the selected option. So let's go ahead and figure out sort of an overview of what we want this to do. When we go to create a V2MOM, there's like a frame rate on my typing. This is interesting. Okay, I can type and it's just slow. It's going to be fun. So we're going to create our V2MOM. We need to create the vision, create or select values. Create the methods, which will also have measures. I can type, and we're gonna create obstacles. Okay, and when we do that, we're sort of predicated on us having this V2MOM record. Now, I'm going to open up our org that we've created this in, and I'm going to pull open the schema builder. So we can visualize this, and hopefully it'll remember the ones we chose. Yeah, here we go. So, in our schema builder, we've got a V2MOM. And this V2MOM holds the information about the potential job. Then we've got a V2MOM component, and that is going to be our either a method or an obstacle. And here we've got obstacle and method as our two objects. There's obstacle, but that's all predicated on us having this V2MOM record with a vision and values. So let's go ahead and start designing what it's going to look like for us to have sort of a wizard that is going to be able to create this V2MOM, first by choosing the V2MOM components, and then by choosing the values and setting the vision, and then by doing V2MOM components like obstacles or methods. So as in our code base here, we need to create this as a record. That's the V2MOM. Now, we have this as the V2MOM values picker, and we have it on the page so that we can play with it, but we don't actually want it to be there. We want it to be in a larger component. So let's go ahead and, as we build this out, let's just take sort of baby steps here. LWC, and we're going to create this. We're going to say V2MOM wizard. wizard. We'll put it in the default one. Okay, here's our V2MOM wizard. It's great. And I'm going to leave that there as it is. What I am going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to create my HTML page. And my HTML page, I'm going to go ahead and put in a lightning. I'm going to put in a card. Lightning card. And it didn't allow me to prototype that. I'm a little disappointed in that. Let's go look at our component reference here. By the way, if you've got questions, comments, Snyder marks, I'd love to hear about them in the chat. You can see the chat questions there, and I also have them appear on a big old monitor where I can see them in a bigger font. So as you ask questions, make comments, otherwise throw out anything. You know, if you've got a better way of doing it or you've got a question, let me know. Let me hear it. We did one of these a few weeks back where we sort of crowdsourced the architecture of our data model. And it was awesome to hear the feedback from the community, and I really appreciate that. And if you find that you enjoy this kind of thing, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give me a like. The likes help my ego, and the subscribe button helps you because when I go live next time, you'll be notified. All right, so with that said, I'm going to look up the Lightning card one, and I love Lightning Web Components, but I don't often get to write them just because of the nature of my job. But I want to do one with a custom title and footer, and this will give me the prototype of my Lightning card here. So I'm going to copy pasta that right over here. And for my title, I'm going to give this V2MOM. Say V2MOM wizard. I'll even spell wizard right just for the fun of it. And then I've got badges down here. Do I need badges? What are we doing with the badges? Yeah, I don't need these tags, so I'm going to get rid of those. In my footer, I might do a button group. I'm not going to worry. I'm just going to put placeholder. Okay, and then here I'll have div. And I'll do a component c-v2mom values picker. Like that. Close that. Now, if you remember correctly, whenever you create a little bit of a new Lightning Web Component, it's sort of hidden by default. You've got to expose it. So we'll go to the wizard here, and I'm going to say is exposed is true. And I'm going to leave it on 52. Now, we have in our V2MOM values picker, we played around with this. We exposed it on a Lightning record page. That's what we want to do as well here. So we'll copy pasta that. Now, I have it as Lightning record page. We should probably narrow that down, but we'll get to that here in a little bit. And there's our wizard. And if we go into our org here and we edit this page, edit page, and we scroll down. Now we've got our both of our components here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop. I'm going to drag and drop the whole wizard, and I'm going to get rid of this one. Okay, so we've got the select options. This is our values. We should probably start with vision, shouldn't we? Do you think? And I'm going to get rid of the page analysis. I'm going to save this. So there's our wizard. We've got a div with our component for the picker. And we could implement this as a wizard, you know, like step 1, then step 2, then step 3. And we could do that in a number of ways. One of the things we could do is, I'm going to go back to our example here. We could do tabs. And if we do tabs, what you get is yeah, here we go. You get this kind of thing. So we could do vision, values, that sort of thing. So item 1, item 2, item 3. I kind of like that. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to modify my component so that my Lightning card inside my div has my tab set, and I'm going to take the picker out here, and I'm going to put it in version 2. And I'm going to set the item to select values. Select values. Actually, I'm just going to say values. This one's going to be vision. And we're going to have a title equals create vision. And we're going to do a lightning text box there. We're going to have values. That's where our value picker is. This one's going to be, we're going to do one for methods. Title equals create edit methods. And we'll do our method component here. Goes here. And I'm just sort of prototyping this out a bit. So I'm going to do lightning, not goals. It kind of brought that out for me. I don't want goals. What I want is I want it to be obstacles. And we're going to do measures as part of methods. So we'll do specify obstacles. And it's awfully quiet out there today. Is anybody actually out there with us today? Obstacle component goes here. There we go. Save that. It'll format for me. While we're saving, Scott, I saw that you were joining us and you could hear us. Where are you from, Scott? And I have no idea why my mic is being so complainy. I literally unplugged it and plugged it back in. It's, you know, that old trope about, have you unplugged it and tried plugging it back in again? Well, apparently I have to do that to my microphone on certain days. Okay, here we go. Back to our account record page. I'm going to go back now. And we should have our tabs all set up. Here's our vision, values, methods, and obstacles tabs. And you can see there's our component. And one of the things I really love about Salesforce development is that took all of, what, 5 minutes? We've built out a tab set in 5 minutes with our components to put here. And I'm really a big fan of that. Now, I don't like the fact that we... Chad is a little sleepy today. We've got this where it says the class is the card body, and I obviously did that wrong, so let me just take this and put that in the card body, and we'll P, and then this tag has one. What are you complaining about there, buddy boy? Watching intently. Hey, Villan. I forget, Villan, where are you from? Are you from... Oh, you know what? I probably can't have a div inside of a p tag. Let me see if this complains. No! P has no matching tag. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a div. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of this. Double click maybe. Hey, by the way, I've got a new pet down here in the corner of my screen. This is Cody. I found this great Visual Studio Code extension called Visual Studio Code Pets, and you can interact with them, you can play with them. I chose to have a dog. I named my dog Cody. He's guarding the castle today. Just a little fun thing. All right, we changed that, made that look better. Let's see if this puts it in the body component a little bit. Lightning text box. It's given us our nice little border. I really am liking that. We've got our placeholder for the bottom of it. We've got our methods component, obstacles. I'm loving this. All right, let's do with our visions. And when we instantiate this V2MOM wizard, we probably need to create an object, a V2MOM object, and have that ready for us to attach things to. Because when we switch tabs, If we go back over here and look at this, when we look at the basic tab set and we do, oh, we could do a vertical tab. That's interesting. Interesting. I don't think we want that, but that's interesting. I didn't know you could do that. We're going to do a default selected tab. And when we do the default selected tab, we don't have to do anything, apparently, because it's right there. Hi, excuse me, do you know RLE protocol for compression? Hey, Michael YMS. I have no idea what the RLE protocol for compression is, but it sounds cool. RLE sounds like like every time you can have a 3-letter acronym, it sounds important. Grave. Like, do you know the FBI protocol for compression? How about the NSA protocol? Turns out I don't know any of those about compression, but thanks for asking. Hey, Enrique, you're here, and Valan is from the Big Apple. That's right. I always forget. I'm bad about it. Or if you're going to TDX, I would love to meet up with people at TDX who join in for Recruiting for Good or for Code Live. But back to what we're doing here. We've got our tab set here. What I want to do is I want to change it so that when our tab becomes active, we can do something. Namely, I want to save our V2MOM component and all the related records so that as we switch around, it creates that component and then moves things around for us or saves things for us. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back and I'm just going to put, if we look here, we've got the onActive is the HandleActive method. And so we can create a handler. And we'll come back over here to our V2MOM wizard JavaScript. Give it a nice thing there. But HandleActive, this is a method, and I'm going to give us some context here. And this is our event. Data passed in from the browser. Okay, and this acts as an on-tab change handler and saves relevant objects. Okay, run length encoding is what RLE is for compression, and I'm sorry, I still don't know anything about run length encoding for compression. Is that a Salesforce development topic I'm just clueless about, or is that a different development topic altogether? Feel free to clarify. I'm also happy to stop and look at it. Now I've got this event target. I don't really care what tab this is, because what I don't necessarily care which tab we're on. I don't care which tab we're on. We just want to use this to save SF data. I'm going to say persist data. Okay. So to do that, let's do this. We're going to have a V2MOM. And we're going to have that as a property. Now, let's look at the Lightning data service. Lightning data service. Because I wonder if I can use this to create my object for me. Lightning Web Components Developer Guide. That's okay. Creating components that use the Lightning Record Data Service. Available force record data on several base components. I remember doing this before. So you've got Lightning Record Form, Record Edit Form. If we do that form, if we do the Lightning Record Edit Form, we could Lightning Actions, if we do the lightning record form, let's go back to our, we're going to look here at the record form. Lightning record form. Is it my browser has gone a little wonky on me here. One second. Component library. I'm just going to reload that. And under Lightning, we've got record edit form. And you can use the record edit form and specify the fields. And on this one, so there's our variant, input field is name. So on our initial one, we could just do this object API name and the record ID. And we're going to get the name field here. Okay, so let us go forth and sort of do this kind of work here in our editor. So in our V2MOM wizard, for the first one, for our create vision, we probably need something before vision to create the object and the metadata. So let's do this. We're going to do a lightning tab, and we're going to say label is equal to create, title equals create V2MOM, and then we'll do our lightning record edit form. I'm just going to let it format that for me here real quick. This is going to obviously fail for a bit. Enrique is from Albania. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. I've seen pictures of Albania. Never been there. I've never actually known anybody from Albania. Where in Albania are you from, Enrique? That's really cool. Name field is, we don't have a name field, and our object API name in this case is going to be V2MOM. We could set that on our JavaScript here. We could say object API name is equal to, and do V2MOM underscore C, I believe. Let's up. If I can go the right way. We've got our schema builder open here. We can look at the V2MOM, and if we look at the object that it is based off of, I think we'll find Tirana. All right, where is Tirana in Albania here? I'm gonna Tirana, Albania. I'm just curious. Let me see map. Maps. That looks like a big city. And maybe Google Maps will load here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, so you're not too far from the coast. That's cool. I bet you it's beautiful there. Absolutely beautiful. It's very interesting. Okay, that's cool. Well, Enrique, that's really cool. Now, let's see, our V2MOM is our object. I was right. So we're going to say V2MOM underscore C. And then our wizard over here is also going to ask us for the record ID. And we may not have a record ID because we're doing this new. So that is the, oh, it's the capital. That's the record edit form. You know what? Rather than spin my wheels, I'm going to go look at example code for this. And to do that, it's going to be GitHub, Trailhead Apps, LWC recipes. I always forget how to do this. Valon's from Kosovo. All right. Eastern Europe today. Or I guess not Eastern Europe. Midwestern Europe? I'm from the Midwest here in the United States. We have this wide swath of land where it's neither interesting nor exciting. And we call that the Midwest. And I happen to be there. But I've often wondered why we just didn't call it the middle boring. Because it's not really west, not so much. But if we go into our LWC recipes here, we got force app main default, and we go into LWC, we've got all sorts of example things here, and one of those is edit record, screen it. No, we want to create contact list. We want to create a record. And I know we do this. Nav to home. Nope. Record edit. Dynamic content. Static contract. Record. Let's look at this one. So this one is going to say the record ID, and we may not have the record ID because we're going to create this. So let's try the static. And yeah, here we go. Oh no, it's only got a record ID there. Let's look at this one. Record ID is going to be API injected, but we don't necessarily have that. You know what? Let's do this the hard way. Hard way is fun. So we're going to do we're going to get rid of this, lightning record edit form. And here we're going to do a lightning form. We're going to do a lightning. We need to put it in a form. Let's look at our docs here. I love that I am like sort of just learning Lightning Web Components on the fly with y'all. Do y'all do this? Like constantly look at the documentation for it? Because I feel like that is the name of the game when it comes to development here. So if we have Lightning input field form, use record form without record ID to create a new record. That's what I was wondering, Joachim. But it wants me to do a record form, so I can do a record form here. Do a record form, and the Lightning record form component requires you to specify the object API name. Okay. If you choose Lightning record form and a record page for account, name to account, yep. And component submits changes only if the record ID is in agreement with the specified API object name. That's fair. I guess it doesn't make us put the record ID. Let's look at it. What do the specifications say? So record ID is not required. Look at that. All right, I can do that. So we'll take this. What we're going to do is we're going to go Lightning record form. We're going to take care of this. We're going to say that the API name of this is V2MOM. Helps if I hit the right button to autocomplete. Here we go. V2MOM. I don't need anything else there. Lightning record form has no closing tag. Now it does. And the name field for this is going to be, we're going to have to import, and if we look at our code examples where we have the record form static contact in here, you can see that we're importing specific fields. So we're going to pull this over, import name field from V2MOM C.name. And over here we'll say we no longer need the object API name, but we do need the, what is this called? Field name field. And this. And we're going to make it equal to name field, which seems a little boilerplate-ish, but that gives us what we need for that. We're also going to need the vision field. And this is going to be import vision field, all caps, from at Salesforce schema V2MOM. Is it Vision C? Let's look at our schema builder. We have Vision, long text area, view field, and new window. Just make sure we get the API name right. Vision __ C. That'll work. So we'll come back over here and we'll say vision, and we'll say this is equal to vision field. You always have to sort of give it a funny name when you do that. And then let's see here. Once we've got that set, we can go over to our HTML, and that should work. Lightning input field is going to give us a name, and back out of that, and then we'll do a lightning input field for not the name field, but okay. And this one is going to be our vision field. I'm having like visions of vision from the MCU in my head. And over here we've saved those. Let's see, ambiguous attribute value object API name. Where do we have object API name? We're hard coding that. Why is it ambiguous? Okay, so let's do this. Object API name equals V2MOM. And then over here, we will change this to be like that. I don't think that's quite right either. Let's look at how do we do that again over here. Documentation for record form. We've got the object API name. That's exactly right. Okay, so it's just that API name. And we'll save that. Over here, we'll change this to be object API name. We'll use camel case. Okay. Over here, oh no. Ambiguous attribute value, object API name. If you want to make it a valid identifier, you should. Okay, does it just want me to remove the quotes? Because our documentation says there's quotes there. See, I'm not crazy. There's quotes there. Silly documentation. No donut. Submitting. All right, so that worked. Now if we go back over to our org and refresh this, maybe. All right, so we have the create tab, and it obviously has a button there, but we don't actually, where is our, hold on a second, let me make this appear where it's supposed to, and we're going to make it appear on the right. All right, so in our Lightning record form, we've got buttons. Why do we not have our fields? Because they're right there. Lightning input field. If we look at our this, we're going to have fields. Well, specification fields is not required. The fields display in the order you want them, and you list them. Do we just need to specify the fields? Okay, so we're going to have record form, and then we're going to have fields. No, that can't be right. And it is just record ID fields. All right. Field name. I wonder if we have to merge it. Yeah, I don't think so, but record form object record. We'll do fields, and we'll set fields to be in here. It'll be an array of strings, fields. Wow, I misspelled that one. And we'll do name and vision. I thought I could control that a little bit finer grained. Saving. Let's reload our org. Rawhide. Boom shakalaka. There's our V2MOM name and our vision, so we can use those. Now, in our Lightning record form, I thought we could override some of these. And modes, edit, view, read only. Okay, well, that's specifying record fields, full and compact. We don't want to do that. Viewing a record with options to edit fields. We don't want to do that. Read only fields, editing a record. That's what we're doing. We can set it to... Okay, that's fine. And handle submit. Okay, so we're going to do an on submit in our wizard. And that is going to be here. On submit equals... Hi, Avishek. Where are you from? What do you need help with? Maria Jose, looks like you're in Brazil. I'm looking at that. It looks like Brazil. Good to see you. I don't speak Portuguese, so I'm not entirely sure what Radio Nova Aliança de Brasilia means. But I'm going to make it sound cool, like you work for the Brazilian Space Agency. Nova. Yeah. Avishek, what kind of help do you need? Handle submit. Like that. Over here in our JavaScript, we're going to do handle submit event, and like in our documentation, we've got the event data, and we're going to grab this and be able to do some stuff with it here. And I'm going to, because it doesn't like those things, I'm going to comment those out here. Okay, and I don't need to grab that, but I do kind of want the information there to submit. Interesting. So it's just going to override the submit. I'm not entirely sure I want to do that, but we're going to play with that. Hi, Avishek from India. I am Kevin from a very small town in Indiana. On success, handle success. Okay. So we can do that too. We can also have a handle create success. And let's see, there's some error symbol in your Android Studio. Unfortunately, we're working with Salesforce development, not Android development. So I don't have a way. I'm not your guy for Android help. I'm sorry. I wish I could, but I'm really not that guy. Here we can grab this information for our success, and you see how this is. They just sort of give us this code here. Get rid of that one, and get rid of that one. Okay, and we don't need to show toast event, but we do want to capture the record ID. Say this dot record ID is equal to event dot detail dot ID, like that. And we don't need those. And so we've got let's do a record ID. Record ID. There we go. And if we're going to use those, I don't think we need that. Actually, before I do that, let's look at our over here. Because in this one we're using those, and then we're going to use the record form HTML. How are they doing that over here? Lightning record form fields. So they are specifying the fields, and the fields are... they're just those fields. Okay. I'm not entirely certain why we'd want to do that, so we'll just get rid of that. Get rid of those two things, back down to one import statement, and we have about 16 minutes left. So if people have questions about what we're doing or think this is crazy, now would be a great time for snide remarks from all over the world, looking at you, Albania and India and the Big Apple. And over in our wizard HTML, we're going to get rid of our input fields. We don't need those. It's going to populate those for us. And we've got the button here on save. And I don't think we need that either because it's going to create it for us. So there's our lightning record form with our given fields. And we're going to handle on submit. And do we want to handle on submit or do we want to handle on submit success? Look at that. We're going to look at this one again. This is going to be a success, and we're just saying on success handle. So it's on success, not on submit. So let's change that. On success, we're going to do, what did we call it? Handle success? Handle create success. Boom. And we don't need that, but we do need it to be there, and we do need this there. Good job. Record. And that's our, oh, you know what? That's on the tab. We don't want that. We want on the record form. That's what we want. Okay. There we go. And our JavaScript here is going to set this. We're also going to do alert just so we can debug it. This.record ID. Like that. All right. So now if we come back over to our org and we refresh this page, I can give this an example test, and I'm going to say to be awesome. And if I save this, oh no, required update to the record values. Oh, values is a text area, and that is required. You know, we should edit this. Edit object properties. Not what I wanted. I want to edit the object. View object. Silly UI. Okay, fields and relationships. Vision should be required. Let's edit that. We can't make it required. Why can't we make it required? Because it's a long text area. You should leave it a long text area because your vision may exceed 255 characters. Values is set to be required though, and we don't want that. Required. Save. Did I miss it there? Was that at the very bottom? Edit. Nope. Okay. So now if we go, now that we've changed that, not here, Kevin. Enrique, what do you mean? Let's reload this. And we'll put in our test. And if we save this, here's our ID. So we've created that record. Now what we want to do is we've made that there, and we've gotten rid of our button. We want this to move us to the next tab. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create in my JavaScript file, I'm going to create one that says current tab index is equal to 0. Why? Because I initially want us to go to 0. Now, when we look at our Lightning record here, if we go back to tab set, and we do with a default selected tab, over here we are setting the value active tab value of 2. That just sets us over here. And so what we're going to do is is it by name? Seriously? Active tab, let's look at the specification. Active tab value sets a specified string that matches the tab's value string. Okay, so we're going to have to make that a little bit more complicated. So we're going to active tab value, and we're going to set this one to create. And because our create one is over here, we called it create. Is that how we do it? Wait. Value. Oh, these are, we can set these to whatever we want. Okay, that'll work. So we've got value, and we're going to do this one to be value equals create. And we're going to add one of these to every one of our tabs. We'll do vision. And then this one will be values. And this one is going to be this one's going to be methods, and this one will be obstacles. Okay, and we're going to start off with create. And then we're going to do, in our tab set, up here, we're going to do active tab value, and we're going to change this to be active, what did I call that? Current tab value. Like that. Save that, look at this event, oh, that's fine. Okay. So this should kick us over here, and then what we're going to do in our wizard is on successful create, we're not only going to do the alert, but we're also going to say this dot current tab value is equal to, and we're going to change this to be, what do we call our tab value? I'm losing my mind here. So we've got create and then vision. Or values. We'll do values. Let's do values. Like that. Okay. Now, I did that values because we have vision on the opening one. And what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of our tab for vision because we don't need it. It's on our initial create one. I love it when I can delete code. Hey Vilon, thank you. I'm glad it's a common use case. We're building through this stuff, and I'm having a lot of fun. So let's go back here and look at this. Let's load it again. Alright, so if I do this and this, when I hit save, it should take me to the values tab after I hit this OK. Boom! Oh, it's because I have things. I have some debugging breakpoints in here, and I don't know why that would. I think it just happened. Yeah. So when we do this, we can switch back and forth to the tabs, and as we complete each step, it'll take us to the next tab, which I think is a pretty cool little way of doing things. But we need a way to save this. So we need a way of saving this information and handling it when we click Next or Save down here. So when we go over to this one, after we have our values, we also have to have a lightning button. Really, you're not going to make it into a thing for me? I'm disappointed in you. Okay, and let's look at our button spec. Lightning button. Lightning button. Basic button, that's what we want. We just want a basic brand button. And we're going to look at, we don't want it to look like a link. We want it to be this one. And I'm just going to let it copy paste to that. And we're going to say that the variant is brand, the label is save, the primary action is save, the on-click is save values, which was a method we'll have to create here. We'll want to do that, and then as we I've lost my mouse. My mouse is frozen. Okay. Get my mouse back here. Alright, there we go. Would be cool to see recommended values when populating the vision. The recommended values can be values that were entered in other records that exist. Valon, what we've decided to do, what our PO wants, is to make it so that our values that you can select from are predefined. You can't just invent your own or pick them from other records. They have to be custom metadata that is pre-specified. So that's why we're not doing that, but I agree it would be cool to do that. But that's not, unfortunately, what they want. But we've got our... We're going to have to do this as our method here. So I'm going to get rid of this alert, by the way. And I'm going to do whoop. And it's going to be event. And Brian says da. Hi, Brian. I'll say niet, just to be contrarian. But if I go down to our, it's what do they call it, dual list box. And then our JS file is going to give us the value that is selected. Okay, so here in this, we've got, do we have a selected values? We don't. So we're going to do selected values. Like that. Now, if you're not familiar with it, that pound sign means that this is a private variable. So we got a private variable there, and what we're going to do is we're going to say boom, and we're going to choose this dot. It's going to be selected values is equal to e.detail.value, and it's not e, it's event, like that. And so what I want to do here is I want to do alert this dot selected values, like that. I know it's an unexpected alert, thank you. And we've got our button there. Saving, saving, saving. Alright. Oh, I keep going the wrong way. Alright, let's go here, and we're going to save this. I've got 2 minutes left. I want to get to the point where we're saving our values here. So we're going to do test and the awesome vision. Save. I've still got that debug breakpoint in there, so we'll go past it. I'm going to set that my selected value is trust. Okay. And then if I hit save, we get undefined. What? That's not undefined. It should not be undefined. Let's look at this. So here are our methods. Now I'm in the debugger, and we got the event list changed, and when we go to look at it here, V2MOM values picker, nope, where's our method for it's not showing our method, our picker, our create available options. That's not what we want. Handle dual list box change. It's given us the save method, so where's our, it's not showing up in the debugger. The save values. And what's interesting is our handle submit and our handle create, it's like it's pulling, oh, this is from, it's because that's in a child component. Yeah, that's a child component. See, we get it there, they get it there, and we've got the selected options. I'm going to make that private, by the way. I'm going to change this to be this dot selected list options, and there. And we're going to have to bubble up an event. Row 33 on JS, remove the pound sign. No, the pound sign is important. That pound sign is here. This makes it a private variable. This is how you reference a private variable in ECMAScript 2017 or newer. The hash is supposed to be there. I promise the hash is supposed to be there. The problem is that when we save our values, we're trying to get the details out of the event of a child component, and we haven't bubbled them up, and that's why that's coming back undefined. If we look at our V2MOM values picker here, I've got the same thing set up with the $ there, or the pound sign there, and I'm going to save that. I already saved it, but we'll just save it again to make sure that it's there. And if we go back, you'll see that it works on the component level, because our component for the values picker is giving us this alert message. But the alert here in the save values method for the V2MOM wizard, the parent component, is not. Hi, Muhammad. Good to see you. Where in India are you from? I'm going to do this one real quick last turn, and then we're going to have to call it a day because we are a little bit over. But if I do blah, 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 save that. If I do select that one, see, it shows me that I've selected the option trust, and that is using that $, or excuse me, that pound sign private variable syntax. What's happening is, as soon as I hit OK, now I'm back in a parent component, and when I hit save, I don't have any event date on that. I need to bubble that up. That's why. Okay, so I'll work on that here a little bit, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all again next week on Recruiting for Good.